All right, YouTube. This is Detroit's HPTV. Come to you out of Detroit. Back with another video on this Wednesday morning. We have to talk about the State of the Union. And we have to talk about the Democrats on the left. Now, you probably know that the Congressman Al Green was ejected from the State of the Union. He was yelling at Trump and pointing his cane, creating a disruption. Now, I don't know about you guys, but where I'm from, when you start yelling at a man and pointing your cane, that's an act of aggression. That's disrespectful. And you very rarely see it, even common, where a man raises his cane and starts pointing his cane at you while yelling at you. And I'm just saying that to say the level of disrespect is orchestrated. The Democratic Party wants to orchestrate an atmosphere of disrespect for conservatives and people on the right. Now, they want you to continue to feel like you can disrespect Trump, his administration, his supporters, but it's a trap. It's a trap because you see them talking about uh, they support Zelensky, they support Trudeau in Canada, they even support the Mexican cartel against the U.S. government. So the behavior and the narrative that they're espousing to their constituents is treasonous, traitorous, and borders on sedition. Because how can you, as Congress people who represent the United States, blatantly side with other nations and foreign nationals against a duly elected president? And I believe that they want to create so much civil unrest that some of you take it to the streets and protest. But while you're protesting, they have been vehemently being disrespectful to the right. So they want to create a situation to where the American citizens are fighting and clash in the street. Then the light and the spotlight will be taken off them and the abuse of those federal funds, and you won't find out about the money laundering, the waste, and how they all got to be millionaires while working for the people and the people starving and in poverty, while they fight to include illegal immigrants into our society based on the 14th Amendment that was ratified in 1868 to protect the descendants of slaves and freedmen, not illegal immigrants. But they know that. But they want to create racial division. I've never seen a party work so hard to create and foment racial division, because that's what it's all about. When you see Jasmine Crockett with her round the way homegirl attitude, or Ayanna Presley saying she wants to censor the American people, and Maxine Water acting like somebody's crazy auntie, you see that they're putting them out there because they're uncouth. They want to appeal to their base through identity politics. They want you to identify with them, and they don't realize they'll never learn. The misfits that you're throwing in front of us, we don't identify with. They're uncouth, they're unrefined, and they're disrespectful. They reinforce every stereotype. This man, Al Green, was shaking his cane at the president elect and the vice president and the Speaker of the House. In his act of defiance, he didn't realize that he was being disrespectful to his own job. But when they came to escort him out, he had real good sense. He wasn't that serious to where he was really willing to fight like he was acting like he was. He respectably got up out of there. But the thing about it, all this bluffing, all this virtual signaling, all this race baiting, all this fear mongering is geared at manipulating the minds of their base. I even had one troll get in my comments because I had did a reaction to some Jasmine Crockett said. She said, when I seen the title, I knew it was a brother trying to get clicks and views off a sister. First of all, Jasmine Crockett is not my sister. I don't know the lady. Let's start there. She's not my sister. So that's a non-starter when you say that. I don't identify with her. I think she's disrespectful. I think she's being used by the Democratic Party to virtual signal and race bait. The Democratic Party only tool now is racial division to hold on to their base. Their base is powerless at this point. They don't have the House, the Senate, the Supreme Court. They have nothing. They have nothing but fear mongering tactics, shenanigans, and virtual signaling, fear mongering, all these things to create civil unrest. Did they want to transgender our children that bad? Did they want to terminate pregnancies to 8 months that bad? They wanted their cheap labor and the border open that bad that they're willing to betray the American people, to go against their own countrymen in these acts of defiance that are only used to stir up civil unrest. I see it coming. And when you look at how they claim to take the moral high road and how they sit in, they looked at like petulant children. They looked at like children, or they look like a party that is ran by emotional women. No strategy, no plan. Just create as much chaos and division as you can. That's their mandate. They still are fear mongering. They're going to cut your Medicaid. They're going to cut Social Security. Trump never said he was going to cut any of those things. But they want to tell you that when he says he's cutting the budget, they want to throw that in. Well, when he says cut the budget, he means taking senior citizens checks from them and taking Section 8. The man never said that. Why would he do that? It goes against everything he ran on. And you can see exactly that he ran on downsizing government and getting rid of the bureaucracy and the fraud. So without further ado, I want you to watch as Congressman Al Green virtual signals and uses political theater to create a disturbance and to play himself as the hero. But it's all theater. They're actually running people from their base. They look so anti-God, so anti-country, so anti-American, so anti-family that most people of any moral fiber are leaving their party. They will never learn. Again, here they come with the identity politics and the race hustle and the division and the theater to make you emotional. So without further ado, let's get into the clip. It's for fair usage under the 1976 Copyright Act for Commentary and Education. Let's check out your congressman.
We have accomplished more in 43 days than most administrations accomplished in 4 years or 8 years, and we are just getting started. I return to this chamber tonight to report that America's momentum is back, our spirit is back, our pride is back, our confidence is back, and the American dream is surging bigger and better than ever before. The American dream is unstoppable, and our country is on the verge of a comeback, the likes of which the world has never witnessed and perhaps will never witness again. There's never been anything like it. The presidential election of November 5th was a mandate like has not been seen in many decades. We won all 7 swing states, giving us an electoral college victory of 312 votes. We won the popular vote by big numbers and won counties in our country. And won counties in our country, 2,700 to 525, on a map that reads almost completely red for Republican. Now, for the first time in modern history, more Americans believe that our country is headed in the right direction than the wrong direction. In fact, it's an astonishing record, 27-point swing, the most ever. Likewise, small business optimism saw its single largest one-month gain ever recorded, a 41-point jump.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning. Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant at Arms to restore order to the joint session. Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat. Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant at Arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
Now, what I want you to notice about that is after he created the spectacle in the scene, as soon as the Secret Service man went to him and told him, "You got to go," he grabbed his hat and coat and kindly left. So he clearly wasn't that outraged. This is why I call it political theater. It's used to instill a defiance in their constituents, in their base. And we know that their base is mostly women on the Democratic side. Mostly women. So they want to emotionalize what's going on in the government instead of handling it like it's business. These are politicians handling business. But because of their lack of an agenda and a plan. Fear mongering and virtue signaling and being emotional is the tool that rallies their base. And that's what that was for.
Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the sergeant at arms to restore order to the joint session. Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House. Mr. President, you continue.
Thank you.
What were you shouting to the president, sir?
I was making it clear to the president that he has no mandate to cut Medicaid. I have people who are very fearful. These are poor people, and they have only Medicaid in their lives when it comes to their health care.
Now, I want you to listen to what he says. When they start asking him questions, he immediately go to the lie that Donald Trump said he was going to cut Medicaid. Never in all his speeches has Donald Trump ever said that he was going to cut Medicare and Medicaid and stop people's benefits. But he knows that you're not going to do your homework. You're not going to look at what's actually being cut. So you'll take his word for it. And then he fearmongers you. But then I wonder, once he's fearmongered you, and once he's made you emotional, what are you going to do? How will you direct those feelings? Or will you let the Democratic Party direct your emotional state and cause you to clash and go toe-to-toe with your government? You got to realize 77 million people voted for Donald Trump. As he said, he won the House, the Senate, the Electoral College, the popular vote, and has the Supreme Court. Are these Democrats really trying to lead you into a revolution? And manipulate the minds of the black community? Don't you realize that the black community is divided? A lot of black people have left the Democratic Party, never to return, don't identify with them, don't respect them or none of that. They're on an island by themselves, so to speak. So are they doing it to Zelensky? Are they willing to throw their constituents under the bus through their virtual signaling and their false propaganda? They have already shown you the level of betrayal that they will have for their country and their very own party. It's a party of backstabbers. But they want to tell you to keep resisting and keep doing things that are anti-government, anti-country. And for what? You're going to do this for 4 years? Then you're going to do it for another 4 years when Vance wins in 28. So for the next 10 to 15 years, because the Democratic Party will never win again, you're going to continue to be in your feelings and continue to be emotional, continue to act uncouth, continue to side with other nations against your own country. From now on, that's what you're going to do over there on the left. Let's finish this clip.
I'm willing to suffer whatever punishment is available to me. I didn't say to anyone, don't punish me. I said I'll accept the punishment, but it's worth it to let people know that there are some of us who are going to stand up against this president's desire to cut Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security. He has no mandate to cut Medicaid. None.
Is the only punishment that you were kicked out, sir? Is there something?
I don't know. Whatever the punishment is, I'm not fighting the punishment. This is about the people who are being punished by virtue of losing their health care. This is the richest country in the world, and we have people who don't have good health care. We've got to do better. And now we're about to cut Medicaid, which is for poor people. Health care has become wealth care for many people, and we can't afford to let that happen. I'm also working on my articles of impeachment. This president is unfit. He should not hold the office. 34 felony convictions, 2 times impeached.
Voulez-vous apprendre le français rapidement? Do you want to learn French quickly? If so,
So you see, he had to end it on the fear mongering, but yet he steady saying, "I don't care how I'm punished." So you mean to tell me that they have the power to punish you, but you're so gung ho that you're out there still telling lies, still attempting to appeal to the emotional aspect of your base, fear mongering, lying to them. Democrats are going out bad. They look real bad at this point. Every spectacle after spectacle. How will they be able to do anything for their constituents that sent them in as representatives? Because all of them represent the most impoverished, poor communities. Their communities are hemorrhaging. So now, since they can't continue with the cover up of where all these abuses in federal funds has been distributed, even with Stacey Abrams, $2 billion. They want you to get emotional and tell you they're going to cut your benefits so that you don't pay attention to what Doge is finding in their books. This is a red herring. This is another attempt to keep you distracted and to keep you in your feelings. The last tool and only tool that the Democratic Party has right now is racial division. They have nothing else to market to their base but racial division. I want you to think about that on this Wednesday morning. Well, this Detroit's HBTV coming to you out of Detroit. Like, share, and subscribe. Support the channel. As always, salute to all patriots. Keep your head on a swivel. Peace.